bachcho, how are you? So in today's video, I am going to talk about poetry. Now, I would like to tell you what poetry is. So in my view, poetry is an overflow of true emotions and feelings. Poetry doesn't happen like it is not planned. When a person is filled to the brim with emotions, he spills out poetry. And that doesn't happen. Like poems can be composed, like 2 or 3 poems one day. If the person is filled to the brim with some particular feelings, he may compose poems. Otherwise, it may not happen for years, for months. So, poetry is an overflow of emotions. Now, there are 2 kinds of poetry: subjective poetry and objective poetry. Now the question is, what subjective poetry is? So subjective poetry is the expression of feelings. It is the expression of the observation that a poet makes. He reflects on his own ideas and he expresses his own feelings. So this is also called personal poetry. Subjective poetry is also called personal poetry. Now there is objective poetry. What is objective poetry? Objective poetry, in subjective poetry there is like the viewpoint of, in subjective poetry there is viewpoint of the poet, while in objective poetry the composer, the poet, is a mere spectator. Whatever he sees, he composes. He doesn't mix his own feelings in it. So, while subjective poetry is personal, objective poetry is impersonal. You understand? If you want to ask any questions regarding this, you may ask in the comment section. And the modern poetry cannot, like, you cannot divide them in 2 sections only, because poems have been written in such a way that they may fall in both the categories. So I'll give you a detail of all the kinds of poems in my next video. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.